Hey everyone's Jackal Wolf coming at you with something different, something new on my channel. This is another 5 things video. I did one very recently for Sky Factory 4, which is a modded Minecraft pack, which is where I spend a lot of my time doing modded Minecraft. Though lately I have been spending a lot of time in vanilla as well, mainly on servers with the Land of Zankar and the World of Solitude SMPs that I am a part of. Recently, both of those servers and Minecraft in general were upgraded to the 1.16 versions. Right now we're at 1.161. 1.162 is due out fairly shortly. And I played in these, quite a bit. And I've got to say, I think they did a really good job on this. So this is going to be 5 things that I think Mojang got right about 1.16. Conversely, keep an eye out for the 5 things I think they did wrong in 1.16, which should follow this video sometime in the future. Number 1. So the first thing that Mojang got right about this 1.16 update is, the actual biomes in the Nether. It used to be that the Nether looked like this pretty much everywhere. You'd get your Nether fortress, your lava lakes, and maybe some gravel pits, maybe some soul sand areas. But for the most part, it was a netherrack as far as the eye can see, with lava basically trying to kill you. The update has given us a bunch of new biomes, so all of which are really amazing to look at. So let's go take a peek and I will show you what I'm talking about. So here's an example of the Basalt Delta. Now it is mainly made up of basalt. There's a bunch of the black stone. Both of these are new blocks. They are really nice to build with, but it's also a good source for, lava and the magma blocks. You will get quite a few magma cubes spawning here, and also the possibility of a bastion. Now a bastion is kind of like the Piglin version of the Nether fortress. So a full bastion will, have piglins spawning in it. There'll be chests with loot. You can even have a chance of a magma cube spawner being located in one as well. So that is really good. This one is sort of like a rundown bastion, so it doesn't look as good as some of the full ones do, but a great place to build a base if you're willing to kind of clear it out of all the, the magma cubes and the piglins. So here's an example of the Crimson Forests and the Warped Forests. They will spawn separately or, side to side, like in this case. They both have the new, I guess you could call them a woods. Technically it is the fungus, but you've got the Crimson Wood and the Warped Wood, as well as all of the, additional blocks that kind of go along with that. The Crimson Forest is where the Piglins and the Hoglins will spawn in, but you don't actually get any mobs in the Warped Forest, which is good because we'll get to it a little bit later, but some of the mechanics involving the Warped Forest, apply to the piglins in that, and it's really kind of a cool little thing, but these are really good. I won't get into all of the blocks in here quite yet, but we will be talking about some of the really cool stuff that you can get from these forests. So here's a good example of the 4th and last of the new biomes in the Nether. This is a soul sand valley. It is essentially a area that is almost completely covered in soul sand, as well as the new soul sand soil. There is a little bit of a difference on it. You don't get your slowdown on the soil like you do on the soul sand, but I'm in creative, so I can't really demonstrate that right now. It is a good location for finding skeletons, like regular skeletons in the Nether. As well, you will get these bone blocks that will spawn in. Basically they are some giant, the remnants of some giant ancient creature that has died here. So this is a cool little area. I don't think it's as visual as some of the other ones, but it is a nice alternate area to the regular Nether that used to be. Number 2. So the second thing I think Mojang got right for this 1.16 update is, the absolute ton of blocks that we've, have been added to Minecraft here. So, we've got like the Crimson Wood blocks, we've got the Warped Wood blocks, basically in all of the forms that are generally, associated with the wood blocks. We got the stripped, we've got the regular logs, we got pressure plates and buttons and trapdoors, stairs and fences and all of that. So that is really good. good. The trees themselves are really, really interesting. And, besides finding them in the world, these can be grown very, very similar to overworld trees. In this case, you plant the mushroom on, the appropriate netherrack, either the crimson or the warped, and then it will grow up into its, respective trees. You will get the shroom lights. I really, really like the shroom lights. They are way better than glowstone, and I actually think they are better than the sea lanterns. Sea lanterns used to be my favorite light block, but these shroom lights are heads and tails above everything. They actually glow where, glowstone is like really, really dull compared to them. I think these look really, really nice. You can get them by, growing the trees or, harvesting them out in the world. You've got a vine that hangs down as well, if I can get down from here, as a vine that grows up. And this is actually kind of in the way, but again, two different vines. This is probably the more interesting of the ones. The vines that grow down, that's very, that's a common, a little bit common in Minecraft. The vines that grow up, that is a new idea. I like that. We've got all of the Blackstone versions. We got the one with the gold in it. We got the cracked, but we got the smooth and the brick and the stairs and the slabs and trapdoor and buttons, which is really, really cool. And you know what? The last of the new blocks is going to be the basalt blocks, and this is where I'm not going to complain about it too much here. Again, look for that second episode, but you've got your raw basalt and you've got your basalt with polished basalt, and that is it. There's no slabs, no stairs, nothing else that you can do with that. This is actually one of my favorite of the blocks. I really, really like the polished. I use it a lot in the builds that I've done so far, but I'm not going to say anything more about that right now. Number 3. So the third thing that I thought Mojang got right is the inclusion of Ancient Debris. Now, this is another block. I didn't show it in the last section because I think it really deserves its own sort of explanation, but this is a low chance item. I think there's only like maybe 1 or 2, possibly 3 in every chunk that generates in the Nether. So it is extremely rare, on almost the same level as diamonds. You can find it fairly easy if you're at the right level and you use like TNT or beds, because it is extremely blast resistant. You will not blow it up, and actually it is also immune to lava, so there's the very little chance that you will lose it that way. More than likely though, you'll die and it'll be in a place that you just can't get at, but regardless, it is a really, really cool metal. Basically what you can do with it is we can go and take Ancient Debris, run it through a furnace to get these netherite scraps. Now 4 netherite scraps and 4 gold, which I didn't have prepped here, together will allow you to make a netherite ingot. So we're going to go 4 netherite scraps, 4 gold. There we go. We've got a netherite ingot. We can now take this ingot and we can apply it to things like armors and tools and weapons that will give you an increase in either damage or protection, as well as making them immune to death in lava, which is good because if you're spending time in the Nether and you fall into lava, the last thing you want to do is basically lose all that good armor that you've worked so hard for. So I don't want to turn this into a tutorial, but the next step is you take your sword and your smithing table and diamond sword, netherite ingot. There you go. You now have a netherite sword. This works with enchanted weapons and armor as well, as all of the other tools. So that is really, really cool. Number 4. So the fourth thing that I think Mojang got right in the 1.16 update is the inclusion of this new craftable block called a respawn anchor. Now, this is basically a solution to the fact that you cannot sleep in the Nether. Like if you place a bed down, you try to use the bed, it's going to explode. We've all done it accidentally, and we've all done it on purpose as well. Like it is something like I said before, it is a good way, a cheap way to mine for that ancient debris using the beds. It's not the best way. TNT is definitely better, but it's certainly a viable option. But because you can't place a bed in the Nether, you can't save your progress or save your, respawn point close to a dangerous place. So right now we're in a nether fortress. If you're, raiding a bastion as well, or even just gathering resources, you want to make sure that if you die, you can get back to your, body, really, really quick. This is the answer here. This is a respawn anchor. Essentially, it is 6 pieces of the crying obsidian and 3 glowstone blocks. So there is a good use for the glowstone. The shroom lights are not completely making these obsolete, but like, just look at that. Look how nicely that glows compared to that. Like that. Like, let's put them side by side here. Like, it's heads and tails better. That's all I got to say. That's absolutely all I got to say there. But what you need to do, though, is once you've got your anchor placed, you just go and prime it with the glowstone. Not quite 9 lives. It is an advancement. All we need to do is right-click on that, respawn point set, and then I'm going to go switch myself into survival, and let's go and die. So there you go. I have died rather quickly. Respawn. Here we are. I'm right back here. I could go grab my stuff. Look at that. It's all right here anyways. I've got my sword. I've got all that stuff I had on me. And I just got to not die again. Oh, look at that. I actually survived. Oh, I'm going to wither to death. Number 5. Okay, guys, so the 5th and final thing that I think Mojang got right about the 1.16 update is the inclusion of the new mobs. We have the Piglin and the Hoglin, which are really, really great. Now, I'm not going to count the zombie Piglins as a new mob, because really they're just the update of the zombie pigmen, just to bring it in line with the new pigmen, which I think is actually a good idea. It makes a little bit more sense. The zombie pigmen come from piglins rather than pigs that have, been hit by lightning or something like that. So that definitely makes this a little bit more believable. The Hoglins are good because they are a kind of like a nether pig, and they will, if you bring them to the overworld, they will turn into a zombie hoglins as well, which is kind of cool. But yeah, no, this is a really, really cool, or these are 2 really, really cool updates that I really, really like. Both of them are really, really nice, and there is a little bit of new mechanics, especially with the piglins, in that you can actually trade with them directly, but it's a random trade. They're kind of like the villagers of the Nether, but randomly. So if I give him a piece of gold, he's going to go look at it. He's going to say, hey, I want that. And oh, wow, he actually gave me, that's a iron soul speed too. That is interesting. That's probably the best trait I've ever gotten from a piglin. I'm kind of disappointed this is in a private creative world, but that is really, really cool. So that's a great little feature, and it is a easy way to get some of the new blocks, like the soul sand and some of the and there we go, like the crying obsidian as well, which we looked at in the last section. This could be tough to find naturally, so here's a alternate way of getting it as well. So that is really, really cool. The other really interesting thing about, how the mobs interact is, the piglins and the hoglins do not like the warped fungus items. So the warped fungus torch or the flame and all of that, that really drives them away. They don't like that. So there's a really, really interesting new mechanic as well. If I was in survival right now, I am not wearing any gold items. He would naturally attack me. Whereas the Hoglin would naturally attack me in survival anyways. It is a, hostile creature. But the piglins will ignore you if you are wearing what I like to call a piglin disguise, which is basically a piece of golden armor, which is really, really cool. Again, another little mechanic to kind of add a little bit of difference to the game. It's something unique. There's no other mob that I can think of that will, I guess, putting the pumpkin on your head to, keep the Enderman from attacking you. That's, I guess that's the closest thing to this, new mechanic with the piglins. But at least you don't look ridiculous wearing a piece of golden armor. Well, unless you're wearing gold pants, that's kind of ridiculous. But you know what? That is it for the new mobs that Mojang got right. There is no other new mob that Mojang got right in this one. And that's all I got to say about that. Okay, so that's going to be it for this one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below anything that you really, really liked about the 1.16 update. And you know what? Let me know anything that you disliked as well. Like I said, keep an eye out for that video. If this one does well, I will follow it up with a 5 things that I think Mojang got wrong with the 1.16 update. If you enjoyed this video, though, please think about leaving a like and a subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at Jackal Wolf. Also, check out the description below. There will be a link to my Discord page. I would love it if you guys stop by to say hi. As well, there'll be a link to my Patreon page. If you enjoy this channel, if you enjoy this content and you want to support, stop by, check it out. There are a lot of great perks, one of which is the Patreon-only server, which is available to Patreons of the Tier 2 and above level. If you would like to play Minecraft with me, that is a great way of doing that. I try to get on that server as much as I can, a couple of times a week anyways, to hang out and chat in Discord and, basically, play some Minecraft together. But that is it. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. He just photobombed me.